Here at Lawton Park, the car park is full, the kids are running around, so too are the senior team. The lights are on underneath the ground, and Jamie Skelly's bread rolls for the post-training dinner are here. They have arrived, which can only mean one thing: the training is on, and so too, by logical conclusion, is the Langy Buzz. And this week we'll be speaking to Jeremy Minfar, the FFA Cup king, as I'll call him. He doesn't like being called that, but I'll continue to call him it until the cows come home. Damir Stojlovic, and as always, the head coach, Scott Miller. So please do stick around. Well, after that unbelievable goal in the FFA Cup, which I'm sure our excellent producer Michelle is now overlaying over the top of this audio, it was only natural that we got on the scorer, the man of the moment from that FFA Cup fixture, Jeremy Minfar, the FFA Cup king, as I called you. How does that title sound?
It's still funny in my head when I keep hearing that. After I've watched the replay a few times.
A few times or a few dozen times? What's the reality? Have you been? I was told last week that maybe there were some burner accounts involved. Tell me about the experience.
Well, that's the first time I've heard about that. I was proud of that goal, I guess. I guess I just took my shot and it just landed where it landed. It was like a bittersweet for me because I have no hard feelings against Malvern. They're a good club to me. But it was good feeling to get the boys through to the next stage and Langy to the next stage. So it felt good.
Well, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about that experience and what was going through your head as you were coming up against your former club, Malvern City. Because as you said, it is a place where you've had some good experiences. You know, that's the club you were most recently at before us. What was it like coming up against people who you're still fairly familiar with, not teammates not that long ago?
I was actually excited before the game. So that's all it was, just excited to play. And I think it was my first start since injury as well. So it was just good to be back on the pitch and playing well, I guess, yeah.
Well, I'm always fascinated in the mental side of these sorts of things. We talked about the mental experience of playing against the side, but I want to dig even deeper than that and get into the goal itself. From where we were broadcasting the game, and I'm not sure if you saw us up on the Ute, but shout out to the Scotia Group for lending us the broadcasting gantry. But from where I was standing, the way the chance sat up for you, it just was one of those moments where you had this feeling watching on from afar that that was the script, that this was just sort of destined to go in. And I was ready to call that one the minute you shot it, because there was just this weird feeling that it was going for the top corner. Was that the kind of experience you had? You just sort of knew that was going to happen, or you didn't think too much about it in the moment?
I don't think anyone thinks about it in the moment. I think just the space opened up for me and I just thought I'd give it a shot, and it just ended up being a perfect kick, I guess. So yeah, no planning in it. It was just spelled a moment. Usually I don't take shots, so definitely spelled a moment.
Well, I must say, the modesty is greatly appreciated. You're almost underselling the goal. I feel like, Michelle, you should almost, producer Michelle, play the goal again, just so we can see how good it is and ratify just how modest Jeremy is being. But it's easily, your far and away your best moment for the club, about as good a moment as any new player could hope to have in new colours. But how have you found the experience beyond the goal? How have you found that time at Langwarrin so far? Do you feel like you're settling in nicely?
Oh yeah, definitely. I felt like I was part of the team from the get-go. It's just good to, I guess, be on the team sheet and playing and starting last 2 weeks as well now, getting back from injury as well. But no, definitely settled in. Love the boys here, love the club here. Definitely felt welcomed.
And when you joined us at the club, you described yourself as an attacking fullback, but I think we saw a really solid two-way performance from you on Monday night against Bulleen. Take us through that game.
I think, yeah, for me, I felt like I had a good game as well. For some reason, I played well at Bulleen, on Bulleen's pitch, but I haven't played there for a few years now. But I think as overall, the boys played well as well, and we kind of started to click again after a few of the bumpy 2 weeks before that. So I think it feels good for everyone just to be clicking again and showing the true Langy. Yeah.
Well, it certainly does feel as though it's clicking back into gear. The FFA Cup king, the king of modesty, Jeremy Minfar, thank you very much for your time, and keep on kicking goals.
Thanks for having me.
Turning our attention to more league stuff this time around, I'm joined by Damir Stojlovic. Damir, a pleasure to have you join us once again on the Langy Buzz.
Thank you. I haven't been back on this interview for a while, but it's good to be back, get my face back onto the camera, show all the fans where I've been and what I've got to say. So it's good.
Well, and it's a good time to be jumping in front of the camera as well, because we've had a good last few games, and that one on Monday, you were part of that attacking lineup. We managed to get 3 goals. It seems like things after a difficult few weeks going forward are starting to click.
Yeah, I feel like the boys have started to gel after we've had our own little group meeting, and everyone had a few words to say about their individual performances and kind of bonded back towards where we should have been from the start of the season. And slowly now, after the last 2 wins, I'm pretty sure we're all confident and happy, and the change room vibes is all positive at the moment. So if it keeps up the way it is, I'm pretty sure we'll get good results for the club and for the boys also.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure you don't want me to mention it, but that goal that you got chalked off, on a scale of 1 to 10, how frustrated? Because you've been trying so hard in recent weeks. If you were getting goals for effort, you'd probably have 10 or so. But how frustrated were you when that one had the assistance flag raised?
I was pretty upset, but to be fair, we got the 3 points at the end of the day. But I believe that Izzy wasn't offside. I rewatched the video, and I think he was onside, and my goal should have counted. But anyways, I saw in the FFV, the website page, that they gave me the goal anyways, and they didn't give it to Izzy. So it's a bit of a laugh there. So I gave him a call on the weekend, the next day after, and had a bit of a joke with him, but it's all right.
Have you rang up FV and told them that it wasn't your goal? No. Yeah, you're going to let that one slide?
Yeah, I'll definitely let it slide.
Well, it seems like you guys are starting to fire and building a good rapport amongst that front three. But I want to ask you something in a completely different direction, off the pitch. You might not be able to see it on the camera right now, but you can definitely see it on the broadcasts. I've got to ask about the hair. How long does that take to get under control before a game?
It's not that bad, actually. So I don't usually wax or anything before a game. It's usually only when I go out, I try and make it, my hair goes down with my pretty outfit, but that's about it. I've had my hair like this since I've been a kid because my dad had long hair, so I've never cut it and I've got used to it. And there's no reason behind it, but I think it's just my iconic look now.
Iconic look. We'll let that phrase sit out there for a few moments. But if it doesn't take you too long, then the logical question, what I want to know from you is, who does it take too long for? Who is spending too long priming the hair in front of the mirror before a game?
I would have to say probably Rogan. No, maybe
Shay as well.
Yeah, Shay. Maybe with his beard, Rogues, but that's about it. There's not really anyone behind the mirror, actually. Maybe Voyle. He's the pretty boy in the group, you would have to say. Even the gaff, he's not too bad. He does his hair.
There we go. We do love a throwing under the bus, and we finally got one. It took too long in the season, really. But Damir, thank you very much for your time.
No,
the stuff on the pitch in the last few weeks has been great, and we hope you can keep it rolling.
Thank you. Thanks for your time, boys.
Well, it seems like not that long ago that I was asking a few difficult questions of you, perhaps, Scott, but 10 days can make quite a difference. It's been a good last week and a half, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been fun. The highlight of my night tonight was Damir saying that his hair's an iconic look. I'm not sure about that. It's more sort of bedhead, rugged, and he threw me under the bus, didn't he? Saying that I care for my hair. Listen, I clip mine on every morning, so I can't do much with mine. So I'm happy for Damir. He's got a great head of hair, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does.
What
And
about yours, yeah?
I think if I speak, then I get in trouble, so I prefer not to speak. Okay. But if it makes you feel any better, he threw a few other people under the bus as well.
Yeah,
but
no
he's off to a team meeting, and he was referencing those team meetings as something that's helped the boys, particularly in the forward line, gel a little bit better together. Can you take us through the thought process and what the focus of those are, without giving too much away, obviously?
Yeah, of course. I mean, an important part of team meetings are gaining an understanding of the opponent, and you've got to understand all players learn differently. So some are practical learners and some are obviously more visual. So the fact we do these meetings it's based on the tactics board, and we speak about their threats and how we're going to break it down, and in particular how we're going to set up for the weekend. And what it does, it allows an open forum for us to discuss our positives going into the game, and people can see it and we can discuss it as a group, and then ultimately we go out on a Thursday night and put it into a practical context as well. So as I said, every player learns differently, and communication styles differently as well, and that's why we do that.
Well, every player learns differently, and indeed so too do coaches. So to that end, what did you learn from our performance on Monday night against Bulleen, the 3-0 victory?
I saw an unbelievable performance defensively, and a great discipline to their work as well. The concentration levels for the entire match was fantastic, and ultimately we played a system that nullified their threat and played to our positives, and to see it executed in the way they did was great, and more importantly the substitutions that came on. they gave us an added intensity in terms of the way we broke, and some fantastic goals as well. But more importantly, you asked me what I saw from the team. I saw an attitude and I saw a commitment, which is really, really important for the supporters to see, but more importantly as a group to recognise that that's our standard. So I was really happy for them. What a way to start the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And going forward, grabbing 3 goals, turning a 5-0 loss in the previous fixture into a 3-0 win. It seems like you made a couple of tweaks for that game in the way the forward line was working and rotating to create a few more opportunities. Was that a conscious decision that you went with going into that game?
Yeah, we selected players to play a certain system, and ultimately, if you look at the profile of the front three, essentially, we played with 3 deep-lying midfielders behind them to support the attack from underneath, but also to nullify their midfield threat. So everyone played their role, and it's probably one of the best games defensively I've seen in terms of blocking passing lanes and working as a unit and pressing off a certain trigger and identifying when to go and doing that together. So fair play to them. They took the information on board and they were rewarded for it. So happy coach, happy team, but more importantly, now it's about replicating and being consistent and moving into this weekend.
Yeah, well, it is a difficult assignment, the boys from Goulburn. It's always a tough challenge up against the Suns. What are you expecting from a team who have identical results where wins and losses are concerned this season?
It's an exciting weekend. You look at the top 4 sides. We're playing Goulburn and Brunswick are playing Kingston. So it's a real pivotal moment in the league in a sense that people can drop points and we could leapfrog. Our intention is to set up with a clear mindset with how we can beat them. There's no doubt about that. They're a really strong side. They are. They're coached really well. They're organised with and without the ball, and they've got a certain style with the ball as well. And we're going to have to be alert. They've got some young talent up there that are really progressing well. And as I said, coached and organised to a manner that we're going to have to be really switched on and engaged.
And with that game in mind, what is the focus on the training park for this evening before that fixture?
Well, obviously with the short turnaround, we played Monday night, so the first couple of nights after Berlin were about regeneration and making sure everyone's available. You're only as strong as your bench, and your starting 11 will dictate the obviously tempo of the game. So we need everyone fit, and tonight's a second phase recovery. We won't extend them too much, but we will have that team meeting. So a lot of the information won't be practical on the pitch tonight. It will be more based inside, so we get a clear understanding about how we're moving forward for Saturday.
And as you said, Scott, it's a big weekend in the NPL too, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of eyes this weekend on your boys at Lawton Park on Saturday at 3 p.m. As always, Scott, thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate your time, mate. Thanks very much.
Now, you're probably wondering, Lockie, why are you wearing purple laces? Your fashion sense was bad enough before you put the purple laces on. Well, there is a reason and a good cause behind it all, because this weekend, this match week, it is Female Football Week and Female Football Weekend as well. So I'll be wearing purple laces over at the Langy TV broadcast box, but more importantly, the players will be wearing purple laces this weekend to celebrate the cause and raise awareness for the female football movement. And if you want to show your support as well, please do come down to Lawton Park wearing whatever purple you want. Purple socks, purple laces if you're that way inclined, purple hoodies, purple whatever, purple other things that I'm not allowed to mention because we are a PG broadcast. But anything purple, wear it. Come on down and watch us take on the Goulburn Valley Suns. 3 p.m. kickoff this Saturday at Lawton Park.